Today we will start with the construction of your first and follow. Okay, before we start with first and follow, what we have studied in the last video? In the last video we have studied your predictive parser. Okay, what is your predictive parser? Predictive parser is the parser which accepts a grammar, okay, which is free from left recursion, first. Second is it is also free from backtracking. Okay, it takes a stack, an input buffer and processes the string. Okay, if we are able to reach a dollar in the stack, okay, and dollar in the input buffer, then we can say the string is accepted by the parser. Okay, otherwise what we will consider that it is error. It generates a error. Okay, then this way we have constructed the predictive parser. An example also we have solved in the previous lecture. You can refer to my previous lecture for predictive parser. There you can find the example that I have solved for your predictive parser using a stack. Okay, now the next thing that we need to construct was a parse table. Okay, to construct a parse table we have to follow certain rules, procedure we have to follow. First was your elimination of left recursion, which we do first before processing the string in the using the stack, because the grammar has to be free from your left recursion. Second is elimination of backtracking, if any. Okay, if it is there, then we have to eliminate. Otherwise, if the grammar is already free from left recursion and backtracking, we have to directly process it. Then the third step was to construct a parse table. Okay, and to construct a parse table we have to use two functions. And what were those functions? Those functions were, first, it is a function, so we are putting a pair of parentheses, and follow. Now today we will study the rules for constructing your first and follow. Okay, today we will study those rules. Okay, now see, first is your rules for constructing your first. Okay, first we will study this today. Okay, now see, first we will be considering the rules, then we will take an example and we will solve it. First is your rule 1. Before going to the rule 1, we have to consider a string. A string will be given for which we have to calculate the first and follow. Okay, let us consider. Okay, let us consider alpha. Okay, alpha as a string. Okay, where alpha belongs to V union T star. Okay, now what is V? V is your set of non-terminals. Okay, and T is your set of terminals. In the rules as well as in the examples that we will study, we will understand how this is being used. So what is the first rule then? If the string, okay, if the string alpha contains a terminal as the first symbol, contains the terminal as the first symbol, then first of alpha, it is written in this form, first of alpha is equal to the first terminal symbol. Okay. Now, how do we understand this? Let us take an example. Let us take a production rule. A tends to A, B and C. Okay. So, first and follow is being calculated for the non-terminals only. Okay. Now, here I will write first of A, capital A is equal to, now see, what is the first symbol here? It's a terminal symbol. So, in such case, if a production is of this form, then first of A will be the first terminal symbol, that is A, and it will over here, and we will not look after the rest of the terminals or non-terminals. This is your rule number 1. Then comes your rule number 2. Okay. Then comes your rule number 2. What's your rule number 2? See. Rule 2. Rule 2 says if the first symbol in a given string alpha, okay, is a non-terminal symbol, and does not derive an empty string, Here empty string we will consider it as epsilon. Okay. Empty string. Then first of alpha means the terminal, non-terminal, what will be given to you, but basically we find out the first of the non-terminal. Okay. If alpha can be a combination of your non-terminals and terminals. So, we take it as V union T star, okay, is equal to first of the first non-terminal. Okay. Now, if I explain this with an example, short example, complete example I will be explaining after writing the rules. Now, if I write alpha tends to capital A, small b, capital Y, then first of alpha will be your first of capital A. Okay. We will not look after your B and capital B. Okay. Then comes your rule 3. This is a very important rule, the third one. Okay. If the first symbol in a given string alpha is a non-terminal and derives an empty string, that is epsilon, derives an empty string, then first of alpha will be equal to first of the first non-terminal, here non-terminal I am writing NT in short, okay, minus epsilon union first of the rest of the terminals and non-terminals. Okay, these are the 3 rules for calculating your first. Okay, now what we will do? We will take an example and we will see how we can calculate your first. Okay, let us take an example for it. Then we will go for rules for constructing your for. Okay, here I am taking an example. Okay, what is the example? See, f tends to x, y, z, a, x tends to x or epsilon, y tends to y or epsilon, z tends to z or epsilon. Okay, then how we will solve it? Now see, remember one thing while calculating your first, you have to always move from in the direction bottom up. Okay, why so? That I will tell you at the end of this example. Okay, now first off, on the left hand side the non-terminal is there. For that we have to calculate first of z. Okay, now check what is your rule number 1. Rule number 1 is what? See, if the first rule number 1, what is the rule number 1? See, rule number 1 is, if the string alpha contains the terminal as the first symbol, then first of alpha is equal to the first terminal symbol. Now, what is this? In this example you say, see, z is the terminal symbol as well as epsilon is the terminal symbol. So, I can break this production also. How? Z tends to small z, z tends to epsilon. Okay, then both the symbols are your terminal symbol. So, what will be the first of z? First of z will be z comma epsilon, using your rule number. No need to write the rule numbers, but directly you have to apply it. Okay, then comes your first of y. First of y is your y comma epsilon. Okay, then comes first of x. Same rule is applicable, x comma epsilon. Now, for the last one, see, first of f. Now see, what is the symbol over here? Here it is given x. Now what we have to check? We have 2 rules. Now see, first rule is done. It is a non-terminal. So, rule number 1 is not applicable over here. Now check. If the first symbol in a given string alpha is a non-terminal and does not derive an empty string. Now check. Check here. F tends to x, y, z, a. X is the non-terminal, but here x derives an empty string. So, rule number 2 is not applicable. Go to rule number 3. What does your rule number 3 says? Rule number 3 says, if the first symbol in a given string alpha is a non-terminal and derives an empty string. Now see, first symbol is a non-terminal and it derives an empty string. Then, first of alpha is equal to first of the first non-terminal. We will write step by step. See, what we will write? First of f is equal to first of the first non-terminal. What is the first non-terminal? X. First of x. Now see the rule. First of x, first of the first non-terminal minus epsilon. So, minus epsilon union, then first of rest of the terminals and non-terminals. What are the rest of the terminals and non-terminals? Y, Z, A. So, put over here Y, Z, A. Now, while calculating the first of f, I required what? First of x. Now, that is why I told you in the beginning, we have to start bottom up. Now, see, here I need first of x and already we have calculated your first of x. If not, again we have to stop here, then recalculate the first of x, then substitute. So, it will take a bit longer time. Okay. Now, here see, first of x I have already calculated. What is the first of x? First of x is your x epsilon, right? X epsilon minus epsilon union, okay, first of y, z, a. First we will finish one, then we will move to the next. Is equal to x epsilon minus epsilon will give you x. Okay. Now, union. Again what is given? First of y, z, a. What is the first symbol? Y. Now, check the question. Y derives empty string? Yes. Then again rule number 3. union first of y minus epsilon union, okay, union first of rest of the terminals and non-terminals, that is z and a. Okay, now what will be the answer? X union first of y, we have already calculated over here, first of y is a y epsilon, so y comma epsilon minus epsilon, okay, repeat it, union first of za, okay, then again x union y epsilon minus epsilon will give you only y union, again not complete, so we have to check the rules again. What is the rules here? See again, first of za, what is z? Non-terminal. Check the question, z derives a empty string, again the same rule will be applicable, is equal to union first of, okay, z minus epsilon union, what is rest? A. And what is A? A is a terminal symbol. What will be the first of a terminal symbol? The same answer. So, we can directly write union A. No need to write again first of A. That is equal to x union y union, what was your first of z? First of z was your z epsilon. Z epsilon we have already calculated over here. Okay. So, z epsilon minus epsilon union A. Now, write it x union y union z union A. Now, combine all. First of f is equal to x, y, z and A. Okay. This is how we will calculate the first of a given production rule. Okay. This is all about your calculation of your first. So, what we studied in this lecture? We studied how do we construct a parse table. For that, first we have to eliminate the left recursion, elimination of backtracking. Then for parse table, we require two functions, first and follow. And in this lecture, I have explained you how to construct your first. 3 rules are there. Using those 3 rules, we have to construct your first. That is, first rule gives if the string alpha contains the terminal as the first symbol, then the first of the non-terminal will be that terminal symbol. Okay. Second one is what? Rule number 2 says, if the first symbol in a given string alpha is a non-terminal symbol and it does not derive epsilon, that means we have to look for the empty string, does not derive epsilon, then first of alpha will be the first non-terminal. Third rule, as I have said you again earlier, it is the most important one. If the first symbol in a given string alpha is a non-terminal and it derives an empty string, we have to look whether it is having a production in the terms of epsilon or not. Then first of alpha will be first of the first non-terminal minus epsilon union first of the rest of the terminals and non-terminals. So, now with this example, I have explained you the method how to calculate or how to apply all the 3 rules to construct your first. Now, in the next lecture, what are we going to study? Next lecture we will study your follow, rules for constructing your follow, and again we will solve an example for it. If you like my lectures, then for further updates, please do like, share and subscribe so that any other video that I am regarding your follow, you will get to know about it and the concepts will be clear to you. Please do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.